Hello, my name is Kathy and I live in Great Yarmouth. About a month ago I showed a video where we were investigating a house and we were pulling up floorboards and we found a lot of artefacts that showed that the property was a lot older than we had been led to believe. I then told you that I had a second property that I was able to look in, and this is it. So come with me on the adventure and see what we discovered in this property. So I lifted these plans from the estate agent particulars. The house has only just been purchased and it's quite a large Victorian house, and as you can see what we were looking at is the front here where you've got the bay window and you've got the entrance hall with the stairs, lounge, dining room, and you can see there's a bay window on the back there as well. And then you've got the breakfast room, kitchen, and right at the back here is a shower room. So that's the very last room, is this shower room. The window isn't quite like that in reality. This area here is a gated yard. And this just gives you an idea of the upstairs. And right at the very top you've got one bedroom, and this is in a loft conversion with a shower room. So the key features as far as the agent is concerned is that it's a mid-terrace house, 3 stories, 5 bedrooms, 3 reception rooms, 4 shower rooms, gas central heating, hall entrance, front forecourt and rear yard, central location, no chain. And as far as the buyer was concerned, that is exactly what she went and had a look at. She viewed the property twice, and her daughter also went and viewed it separately on an alternative occasion. And at no stage were they shown any basement rooms or cellars, and no cellar was ever mentioned. I was certain there would be a basement or a cellar room because this is the back of the building. You can see here a lintel, and I mean this kind of gives it away. So I guessed that this was going to turn out to be a door or a window or something like that. So this is where the shower room is. This is the gated area. So going inside the gate, you can see that you've got an archway here and something's been bricked up. This window has been put into the shower room, which is at the end of the kitchen. So I was very, very confident that we were going to find a basement room, and I thought it was going to be under here, or at least in the shower room somewhere. We were going to pull up, and the owner did say we can pull up the shower tray, because I thought that the entrance to the basement was going to be somewhere around there. And as I say, this house does need a lot of work doing to it. So it's going to be pulled apart anyway. So the owner was happy for me to go and have a look around. So this is in the yard. As I say, this was the evening after they just moved in. So the removal men had just gone, and I was there like a shot. I'm a complete pest. So you can see there's a lot of boxes around because they've only just had everything delivered. I was quite interested in the fact that this bay window, now I was able to sort of go and have a proper look, actually juts out well below. And I wondered whether there'd been a bay window down below ground level here. And when we actually removed this area, just down here, because it was like a sort of boxed area there, look what we found! It's the entrance to the basement. We were so thrilled. We were down there like a shot. I'm surprised nobody broke their neck getting down there. But we rigged up lighting, and I'm going to show you a bit of footage. Because the lighting's quite poor, we only had the one light. It does go dark in places, but we continue talking. And there was just more and more and more to discover. We actually had an endoscope, so we could poke it through the walls, you know, through any areas of brickwork that we found. We could have a look through, and it's just such an amazing discovery. So let me just show you some of the footage.
There's enough room on there.
my God.
That looks like a decent
Do it again,
size
do it
room.
again. Stick the camera down there, because I want to get it on film. Yeah. Just gonna film what you're filming.
It's very sensitive.
Yeah! Yeah. There's definitely something there. Yes, that is something. Yeah, you can see the corner. So the other room is the other side of the brick wall. So this is 3 rooms we've found down there, and you've got another one. Oh my God!
Look at that room behind that wall. Oh.
You can see the space, but you know it's
Well,
it's just an empty space.
Well, if it's an empty space, it shouldn't be an empty space, really, should it? It should be.
yeah, it's very sensitive. So it's getting the right angle, and then when you get the right angle, you can see it. See the room.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they all seem to be false walls down there.
This one's solid.
Is it?
Yeah, this is solid.
That's the same as in mine, though.
Right, that's solid. That's a false wall.
That's yeah, timber.
Yeah. It's amazing.
I've got one of them under my dining room.
This is amazing. Considering you didn't even know you had
That
any
makes me talk,
basement.
yeah.
How bizarre is that? I'm so pleased you have though, considering I was going on about it. I was thinking I'm going to look really stupid if there isn't anything. Wow. Will you look at that? My God. Lynn's going to want those walls down first, Jeff.
Very hard to tell. Steps,
You've got under there the entire kitchen, isn't it? For where we're at, yeah, it's the entire kitchen.
I mean, mine.
And if you
My
remember at the back
basement is.
at the road, we've got a half door button down, so
Yeah, look.
So I'll just show you a bit more footage.
See, and you found this as well as
gorgeous. I can't see. Excellent.
So we might.
Is that all space behind here? Yeah, there's more space beyond there.
There's
And
more
more
space
space
beyond
beyond
that
that one.
This camera will tell us what's behind you.
Nope. There's a few cobwebs. That's a house. Do you reckon that's a stud petition behind it? Like on the brick?
There's no stone behind it. And stone. It might be like a patch-up job like they done with the arch.
So there's more skirting under
Yeah,
that.
there's stone underneath it.
Right.
Yeah, they battened it. Backboarded.
And we've got all that, so it's behind the screen.
Yeah. So are you able to put the endoscope through, do you think?
Yeah. Well, this is a bonus, isn't it? Having this way.
Yeah, but it's just a mess. It's got a lot of work to be done. There's nothing there.
What about this side here?
I think you need to dust.
Is that what that is?
No?
That's what that is.
Okay, well we'll go and have a quick look under some floorboards upstairs then, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to pull out your...
So, off we went upstairs. So this is the entrance that's below the bay window that leads on to the back of the house. This is the room, so just I lit it and just took some photos so you could see a little bit clearer what we were looking at. So this is the first room that we came across. So yeah, it's quite a nice sized room. And then there was a door, which is just odd. Well, it's odd that there was a basement in the first place, but it was so exciting to find there was a door. But the odd thing about the door is that this actually looks like a doorstep to me that should be external. And someone suggested, oh, maybe it was like a sort of an area for a little toilet. But I really don't think people would be climbing down into the basement to use this toilet. I mean, that's the most inconvenient convenience I've ever heard of. But anyway, this is what's inside one of the two rooms. It's this sort of area here is like a stud partition with a window in it. So the room has kind of been divided up into two. Clearly it's been used for something at some point. I wondered if it would been used for a like some kind of bunker for during the war times, perhaps. It would seem, looking at the bricks at the back, that this area was used for cooking. Again, you can see that the area had some kind of fire or something in it, and then at some later stage someone's sort of stuck this cabinet in there, but there's like different wallpapers on it, and it's just so old, and didn't really understand why there's different concrete levels. That kind of steps down there, and there's this big square of concrete sort of missing, but I think it'll take a bit more time for us to have a look around and have a think about how this was used, when it was put together, the reasons it was put together. Find it very hard to believe that this was actually built as a part of the property when the property was built. The property, by the way, is said to have been built in 1857, but I really don't think it was built with the basement. This is the other side, and this is the wall we were looking behind. This is where we know that there's something behind this. Seems to be steps up. I couldn't really ascertain whether the steps continued on up to perhaps an alternative exit. So just to show you where we're at, this is the bay window, and we've gone down below the bay window. The room that we first looked at is under here, but it only seems to go up to this wall here and cuts off along here. Now, we were putting the endoscope behind this, and there seemed to be a cavity there, so I'm wondering if the cavity just extends as far as this wall. Not really sure. And when you go through a doorway, which is around here, you've then got this area seems to be segregated into two parts. So this is the part where you would find the area that looks like they've been cooking or lighting a fire, and this side is where you've got that bricked up area, and we've put the endoscope and we can see a cavity that way. Now, bearing in mind this is where we are under the house, it's all the way over here at the end of the shower room where I saw that window on the outside of the building, and the archway that has been bricked up is here. So that's quite some way from where we're finding the bricked up wall here. So I'm thinking if we knock that through, all of this area is going to be exposed. Now, the kitchen has a concrete floor, and that was pointed out by Jeff, who's also a builder, by the way. But if you look up, this is in the basement looking up, there's this area here exposed, and this is concrete. This is concrete above the basement area. So this is a part of the kitchen where we can, you know, sort of stamp our feet, and, well, maybe not stamp our feet quite so hard now we know what's underneath it, but you can realise that it is concrete in the kitchen. So, yeah, that we will be doing more investigation, but as you can see, the owners only really just moved in. They've got a lot of other work to do and preoccupy themselves with, and the builder's already got his work cut out. So it's a matter of where do they want to start, and I should imagine the basement is going to be sort of last on their list, seeing as it isn't something they'd even budgeted for. There was a kind of sewer pipe or something going through to the basement, but I don't know where it would have been going from that point. That's sort of halfway up the wall, and it does sort of veer upwards, so it's not going down into sewers from here. It's coming from the street level and down. Very odd. And there's another pipe here as well coming in. And I think this is what led people to start discussing whether this was possibly a toilet at some point. But as I say, I really don't think people would be coming all the way down into the basement to use the toilet. There's a sort of boiler as well that's down there, but this pipe is, we've been told by the builder, asbestos. If you look at this opening here, you'll see that the brickwork is sort of cut off. It doesn't lace in to the other brickwork. So I'm surmising that whilst this bit is original, this brickwork here has been added at a later stage. And I would agree that that probably looks like a coal chute. But I don't think it was originally built as a coal chute, because I don't think this brickwork at the back here was a part of the original structure. So I think this was probably a window a very, very long time ago, and in the 1800s they've designed it so that it could potentially be used as a coal chute. I think this is just concrete that's been deliberately poured in that way so that coal could be put down, and then at some other stage a boiler's been put down there, and this pipe is leading up from the boiler. And just to show you, that pipe continues on up outside the house, and this is another concrete slab that's been put over that opening that I just showed you. And that's just showing you the back, so you've got an idea of where that's all going. But as you can see from all the stuff that's there, that there's a lot of organising that the owner needs to do, and they need to prioritise what works are going to be done first. But we did go into the living room and we lifted the floorboards. So these floorboards are very close to the living room bay window at the front of the house. We lifted these, you know, to see if there was any obvious remnants of there having been a room, and there didn't seem to be, not superficially on the first look anyway. It isn't very deep under here, and I'm wondering whether it grades down a little bit like it did in the last building that we investigated, where it became deeper and deeper as we went down. We could see that there was a wall around here somewhere, like supporting that, but as you can see, we couldn't really go any further and look at more floorboards because the owner has her things in there at the moment, and she hadn't even had an opportunity to unbox, and I'm kind of pulling our house apart and running around with the camera trying to take pictures and piece everything together. But we will be going back in there, and some of the things I would like to look at, if the owner will let me, and I know she's going to be watching this, so let's all just come on. Her name's Lynn, so come on Lynn, let Kathy go and have a proper look. So I wondered why these walls are so thick. They just seem to be unnecessarily thick here, unless this is another kind of support wall. But having put an endoscope through there was clearly more skirting board at the back, so it would seem that they've almost walled up walls, which is strange. But I do think that this thickness here is probably due to the fact that at some previous stage this was another bay window. I think it was a bay window under the bay window above, and I think it was there because this should have been at ground level. This was built to be at ground level. So I'm hoping that we can also open up this chimney here, see if there's a fireplace, and I'm hoping that the fireplace might help us to put a date on this, and also look behind all of these walls. As I say, there was a lot of skirting board behind it, so it would be nice to see what kind of skirting board. Is it something really ancient? Can we date any of it? Another point I would make is that this is some of the original flooring exposed, although, as I said before, there are different levels of concrete and cement that's been sort of poured over different areas of the floor. But this is exactly the same flooring as we found in the previous house in that basement, and that turned out to be pre-1800s. So that's about as far as I can go for now on this particular house, and I'm sure I will come back and do some more on this as soon as Lynn is ready to let me. And thank you so much, Lynn, for letting me go and investigate. I really, really appreciate it. And on to another subject. I have managed to acquire a map of Great Yarmouth dated in the 1750s. Now, this isn't a map that's available online, and nor is it available if you go into the local library and ask for old maps. And having acquired it, I've noticed that there are some very suspicious features on it. So I've been looking into this, and I would like to bring this to you next time. So I will start uploading another video and getting that ready to see what you make of the different features that I found on this. So I will be back soon, and I will say goodbye for now. Peace and love to everyone. Bye.